Jets, I hear them saying now.
Jets, white, green, just green and white. Tell me, have you ever seen a team take flight? Super Bowl dreams are still in sight. All we gotta do is win tonight. White, green, just green and white. Tell me, have you ever seen a team take flight? Super Bowl dreams are still in sight. All we gotta do is win.
What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back for another video on the Turn Up the Jets YouTube channel. I am Joe Scurto, as always, your host, aka Turn Up the Jets. Before we get into the video, it's been a while, a couple days now. Last video, I think, was the recap of episode 2 of Hard Knocks. We'll be seeing episode 3 recap tomorrow, so look out for that video. But yes, before we get into the video, please subscribe if you have not already. If so, much appreciated. And if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, like the video if you actually liked it. And you can follow me on social media platforms at Turn Up the Jets, all one word, on X and Instagram. So, preseason finale coming up. The Jets are coming off a 13-6 defeat on Saturday night against the Todd Bowles led Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And by the way, Baker Mayfield, officially the week 1 starter. That actually just came out today. I feel like that was relevant to throw that out there. But yeah, I mean, the Jets only scored 6 points. I don't really have a lot of takeaways. I really want to talk about the season finale or the preseason finale against the New York Giants, because this is the dress rehearsal. And the Jets are getting a lot more starters in that dress rehearsal than I think we could have imagined. Basically, this is as close as we're going to get to the starting lineup, at least on the offensive side, for week 1 against the Buffalo Bills. And it all starts, of course, with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is going to make his New York Jets debut in MetLife Stadium against the Giants in the preseason finale. It's a controversial move, right? A lot of people think it's crazy because he could get hurt, and there are definitely going to be other guys on the other side for the Giants that don't give a shit because they're trying to fight for their jobs. They're probably second or third stringers. I imagine the Giants are going to throw some starters as well to get their dress rehearsal because they also have a big game, a Sunday night game against the Cowboys. And I did not know, at least I did not know, unless I'm looking at it wrong and I'm screwing everything up. The Giants also play in New York. I did not know that on Sunday night. So that's pretty wild that the Giants play Sunday night in MetLife and then the Jets play Monday night in MetLife. So I knew they were playing the Cowboys, but I didn't know it was back-to-back MetLife games. So that's pretty cool. And I imagine, yeah, they're going to have a dress rehearsal as well. That's a huge divisional game for them. So my opinion on the Rodgers thing, I like it. I do. And yes, you could say he's been there for, in the league for 18 years and he's 39 years old and he does not have anything to prove and blah, blah, blah. I've listened to all the opinions, mostly every single former NFL player. These are the guys that did this for a living. All said that they like this decision and that they think that you at least need 1 game. Andrew Whitworth said the feelings of week 1 is a lot different when you do not play a preseason game versus when you do. That's a 16-year veteran. I think it was McAfee and AJ Hawk and Pac-Man Jones, that McAfee crew, all like the idea. Orlovsky likes the idea. I think who else was it? Dominic Foxworth likes the idea. All these guys are on TV, but they were all former NFL players. They weren't a normal person like us, right? These are the guys that know what goes into the preparation, that knows what leads up to week 1. And when you get there in week 1, I don't think it's going to kill anybody to have Rodgers come in and get a series, maybe 2. Saleh kind of hinted that he really wanted more than 1 because he wanted to see how they respond of going back to the sidelines and like looking things over and coming back out. Ideally, he drives down, they score first drive, and he's done. That would be ideal. But I don't hate this decision. I really don't. And yes, I'm going to be holding my breath But it's going to be good to see him get out there with the starters and also see Garrett Wilson get out there with the starters and hopefully much of the offensive line. And most of this video is updates of what's going to happen on Saturday. A lot of injury updates. The Jets are slowly but surely coming to its own, mostly on the offensive side. And it looks like they're not going to throw Rodgers out there with fifth string linemen. Like, this is probably going to be the starting offensive lineman week one, what they roll out there. Maybe the outside chance of Dwayne Brown. I don't really see him playing, but we'll get more into him later in the video. But yeah, it's a different place. It's different. It's not Green Bay. He's not playing with Devontae Adams. These are different players. And yes, they have played in joint practices, but they haven't played in any pressure. A stadium filled with fans and really going all out, right? They're not going to hit the shit out of you in these joint practices. This is a real football game. A real football game when you get tackled and you block and you go 100% and you try to, smoke somebody. So the atmosphere is different. Like, if you really think about it, Rodgers going out there on 9/11 Monday Night Football against the Bills, and that would be his very first time getting in the huddle with those guys in a game setting. That's pretty crazy. I know this is a Super Bowl champion, but he's also human, and also it's good for the other players too. How do they deal with the huddle during a game when it's loud? It's so much different. And it's only going to be a drive or two. And of course, a lot of Jets fans are selfishly happy because they get to see Aaron Rodgers this Saturday. Heck yeah. It's great. Going to give you that little dress rehearsal. But I think it's needed. And we all know injuries happen. That's a part of the game. Don't play scared. That's what Robert Saleh said. Love that quote. So I like the move. And I think Rodgers is going to go out there and ball out. I do. And I cannot wait to see it. You could be frustrated why they're doing this. And I bring it back. He's been there so long. He's been in the NFL so long and he has nothing to prove and blah, blah, blah. Everything's still new in hindsight, though. So I don't hate it. Let's see what he got. I mean, Patrick Mahomes plays every preseason. I know Patrick Mahomes isn't 39, but still, Josh Allen has been playing the preseason. These are the guys you got to go up against. So they want to get to their level, right? I mean, we don't know how the offense is going to click right away. Get those growing pains out of the way when it doesn't matter. Watch that film and make sure it doesn't happen in week one. It's going to help so much. And he's going to protect himself. He's not going to take any hits, dude. As soon as there's a rush, he's either going to run out and throw it out of bounds or probably just that, right? He's not going to take a sack or he's going to try to force the ball into tight windows because he's a magician at that. So he's not going to take a hit. And the Jets offensive line better not let that happen, but he's going to play smart. He's going to protect himself. Like, this is the preseason. He's not going to try to stay in the pocket and throw it and then get hit. No, that's not going to happen. It's not. He's going to play a little differently. He's going to play safe, but he's still going to go out there and do his thing, and it's still going to benefit him and the offense and the entire team because this entire team is relied on this offense. It really is. We know where the defense is at. So for like the 8th time of this video, I like the decision. So this guy, Mekhi Becton, I haven't really got a lot of use out of this the last 2 years. I figured it's only right because we're holding by a small thread with what his future is going to look like. I did not think he was going to crack the lineup week one. I thought it was going to be Max Mitchell. Max Mitchell has had a tough camp. And Mekhi Becton has really just climbed the rankings very quickly at rapid speed the last 2 games. He played right tackle in Carolina, played more snaps than they wanted him to, and then he goes and starts. He plays more. No, did he play right tackle? No, he played left tackle. Carolina looked good, and then he played right tackle for the first time in a game, looked very good, and now he's starting at right tackle. So he plays against Carolina, more snaps than you want him to. He moves and plays at right tackle, plays very well, and that's probably where he's going to be at. And now he's starting in that position. Not to mention he's starting when Aaron Rodgers is out there. That tells me if he gets through this game healthy and he impresses. So if he repeats what he did last week, he's going to start week 1. That's what that tells me. Because there's no way if this guy didn't have much of a chance to crack the starting lineup, no shot in hell he would be protecting Aaron Rodgers on Saturday. It just wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make any sense. So I think Mekhi Becton is very close. He's on he's right there. He's on the verge of cracking that starting lineup and being the starting right tackle. And it's looking more and more. It's going to be Brown and Becton, Tomlinson and AVT, and then Connor McGovern. So if he can repeat that, that'd be huge. He played tremendous on Saturday. And you could say all you want that there's backup defensive linemen, of course, but these are still professional linemen. And the fact that he just got through the game and performed well, that's all that matters. It's baby steps. If he goes in now and performs really well, starting right tackle for Rodgers against, I would say most of the Giants starters. I really would. As I mentioned earlier, like they're playing Dallas. They're hosting Dallas. That's a huge divisional game. This is a tough division. They're going to want to see what they got as well. So Becton against most of the Giants starters, I think that's a huge let's prove myself moment for him. And it seems like he has a great relationship with Rodgers. I saw that they get lunch. It was that cool moment last week in Hard Knocks. I know he's like probably the most rooted for Jet right now. Some people are over him. I get it. But if you want him gone, who is going to replace him? Right? Like Becton could be the most talented guy on the 5. At least the second. I think AVT's in his own level. But Becton could be really good if he stays healthy. It's like one more year. What is the risk of seeing if this is the prove it year? If Becton goes out and starts 15 games, performs at a high level at right tackle, that's going to change where your season goes, man. That is going to change a lot of how good your offense becomes. It really is. Becton is the ultimate like dark horse to this thing, to being a really good team. He is the dark horse. And I think if he excels, watch out. It's huge for the Jets. So, I mean, give the guy a shot. We gave him, I get it. We gave him 2 years. He only played 1 game, but he lost the weight. He's gaining momentum. And I didn't like what he did earlier about, I'm a left tackle. I hated that. I did not like any of that, but it seems like we're past that. He probably regretted that. He has put his head down. He has played right tackle without issues, and he's all in. They asked him today, how do you feel about starting? He said the job's not done yet. He wants to be the starting right tackle, as he should. This is his moment. This is his only shot to prove himself that he's a starting just tackle in general in this league. Who says he can't be a left tackle next year? He definitely can. Dwayne Brown is an older player, but he's just the more reliable left tackle at this moment. So this is huge for Becton. This is a huge step. Going into the Hall of Fame game, he only played 7 snaps. We're thinking he's probably traded in a few weeks. Who knows? He might even be released. That was the big overreactions. Panthers looking good. Bucks looks really good. Everyone's buying into the hype, including myself. I said it way before, a few videos back. If we had a choice, I thought Max Mitchell would be the starting right tackle. That's just who I thought it was going to be. I didn't think Becton would quite be at the rate that he is right now. And that is very satisfying. That is huge for the Jets. So, I mean, you like him, you hate him. I think, everyone who is going to root for this team should just hop on the bandwagon. We'll see. And if he's not the guy, he's not the guy. And we can stop talking about it. But this is a huge test from Mekhi Becton. They're throwing out there with Aaron Rodgers under center. And that shows me he has another solid performance. He's going to start against the Buffalo Bills. And speaking of the other tackle, the left tackle, Dwayne Brown is getting evaluated in Houston for his shoulder injury. Hopefully we get results either today or tomorrow per Robert Saleh. And if he is cleared to go, I don't see him playing the preseason game, but I think he'll just have the green light to come back, practice, full rate, be ready for week 1. And I've been pretty optimistic, and I still feel optimistic about the whole Dwayne Brown situation. I still think Dwayne Brown's going to come back. He's going to be the starting left tackle, and that's that. And I really think they've just been really lollygagging, intentionally lollygagging because they can, right? This is a guy who's been around the block, and they don't really need to see much from him. Just put him out there healthy and enjoy the ride. Really, that's how much faith they have in Dwayne Brown. He's a pro's pro. I don't give a shit how old he is. He's still going to perform at a pretty solid level. As long as he's just healthy. So I don't think they were in any rush to get him back as long as he was starting week 1 against Buffalo. And I still believe that that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to be cleared. They're not going to throw him in the preseason game. I mean, by any means, that would be ridiculous. So that's off the table. I don't even know if Saleh had said that yet, but obviously he's not going to play in the preseason game. So I guess we'll see what the doctors say. They clear him, great. But yeah, I think they've just intentionally dragged this thing out, and I don't blame them. They don't really need to see much of what this dude can do. They already know what he can do. It's just getting him right, getting that shoulder right. That's most important. And same with this guy, Joe Tippmann. His knee should be good week 1, and I do not believe he's going to start week 1. Does this set him back and potentially the reason why he doesn't start? I don't think necessarily. I think it was always going to be Connor McGovern. And I believe the kind of the news of shifting him to guard and then putting AVT at right tackle was all garbage. I think that was just crazy talk. Not crazy talk, but I think that was just kind of blown out of proportion. I don't know. I think one reporter said it, and then everyone thought that this was going to happen. I mean, why would you put a rookie center at guard? Like, he barely played guard at Wisconsin. So he was asked when the last time he played guard, and he was talking about, oh, yeah, I played guard a few times at practice. They're like, no, like a game. He goes, probably college. You could tell that he hasn't played guard in forever. So why are you going to throw a rookie center into guard? That's crazy. You might as well just put Becton there, and you might as well roll out AVT. And I think right now McGovern is the best for the job week 1. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'd rather Tippmann long term, and I still think Tippmann will be the starting center at the end of the year. I think it's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen. But Connor McGovern is the veteran, and I think Rodgers would prefer the veteran week 1. It's simple enough. If he's underperforming, is he going to want the guy who's underperforming still remain the center? Hell no. They're going to see what their young stud rookie can do. Hopefully young stud. So I never thought there was a shot that Tippmann was going to start. The knee certainly didn't do him any justice. And I guess we'll see. Hopefully he's on track of recovering and being good, because realistically they need him healthy anyway. Just the depth for center and guard alone is so valuable. And yeah, I'd feel okay. Put him at guard some point, but starting him guard week 1, I thought that was a huge smokescreen. And I think right now it remains, it probably is. Other updates, we're going to end it here, and I'm going to pull it out because there's a lot of updates. This is going to be via Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic. So Carl Lawson back is still being held out. They want him back 100%. He's going to play week 1. They're not rushing him back, obviously. Corey Davis remains out. I'm going to save that to the end because I have some more opinions. Izzy Abanikanda thigh is out a couple weeks. This makes the Dalvin Cook situation or move even better. Now you don't have to rush him either. A couple weeks, the season starts in a couple weeks. So that's fascinating. I'm not sure how that's going to affect his status for week 1, but again, the Jets are most likely going to have Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, and Michael Carter activated anyway. Or active anyway. So I think that gives them the leeway to maybe ease in the rookie. Kenny Yeboah, hamstring, also out a couple of weeks. I don't know what Yeboah's status is even going to be. Is it going to be the practice squad? Is he going to be released? Not really sure. That room's pretty crowded with, of course, Conklin, Uzama, Ruckert. And then you got Zach Kuntz, the 7th round pick, and I think he's just too freakishly athletic to just let go. And there's no way they're going to let him go. Elijah Vera Tucker and Laken Tomlinson will return this week and play versus the Giants. That is huge. and they participated in team drills today. So I don't know who's going to play left tackle. That's actually a really good question. I'm not sure if Saleh had said, but it looks like Becton, Vera Tucker, Tomlinson, and McGovern would at least be out there to protect Rodgers, but maybe Billy Turner is the left tackle. That's probably my guess. Because I still think like there's, Brown is getting evaluated to get cleared. Like he's not going to go in, get evaluated, get cleared on a Wednesday, and then play a preseason game. It's like Saturday. No way that's going to happen. And Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall are practicing, but won't play against the Giants. So that's good news. I know Breece Hall was out there, team drills. Dalvin Cook is in there now. That's great news that they're practicing. Why bother rushing them in? It seems like they're both I think Dalvin Cook, no doubt he's going to be active week 1. The Jets wouldn't have signed him if they had any fear of that, because it defeats the purpose of signing him, because the whole reason I think is, yes, you stack up your room, you get a better player, but you also help Breece too, even though it wasn't ever factored in of Breece's status. But if he was going to be out week 1, it'd be hard to believe the Jets were going to just throw $8.6 million at him. So Cook looks like he's good to go too. Also a shoulder. Breece has looked good. He's making his cuts. But Corey Davis is what I'm going to end this video off. Personal reasons. I don't know what these reasons are, and I hope everything's all right. I hope there's nothing, severe going on in his personal life. And the way I think about it is, I don't know if he's going to be on this football team. Like, what are the personal reasons? He's barely even practiced all training camp, like barely. I feel like I don't even know how many I feel like you can only count on one finger how many practices he had. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, but I have not heard Corey Davis's name at all. Unless, he's not participating because of personal reasons or not participating because of injury. He might not make this football team. They owe him a lot of money, but I'm pretty sure they'll get some of that back if they cut him. He could be a cap casualty. I mean, we've been saying this since April. Like, literally, I thought he was going to be in the Aaron Rodgers trade. We've been saying this literally all year. We've basically been saying this since the season ended in February. The cap casualty, Corey Davis, is going to be released. And, of course, they go get Lazard, who's basically a very similar prototype. He's big. He's a good blocker, good red zone target, but he's younger. He's only 26. I believe Corey Davis is 28. And he stays healthy more. Lazard has had health issues, but Lazard played 15 games last year. I'm not sure. And then they go sign Mecole Hardman. Say what you say about Randall Cobb, but he's still going to get you about 20 catches at least. 18 of them are probably going to be for first downs on third down. But, and then you got guys like Malik Taylor, like Gibson, like Brownlee, like they have other guys who have performed pretty well in the preseason, young guys. So do they roll them out and have 5 guys and are comfortable with one of those guys being the 5th guy? I'm not sure. I don't really know what their plan is, but I think this is trending towards Corey Davis might not be on the roster week 1. I really don't know what it is. Again, I hope it's nothing severe. And that's just really what I think. I don't know if it has anything to do with the Jets and Davis. Like, are they trying to make him take a pay cut? Is he refusing? Or is there something really serious? And that's why I don't really want to speculate too much. But I just don't know if he's going to be just automatically week 1 on the roster. It's a situation definitely to watch for. But yeah, that's going to wrap everything up here in that video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Like the video if you actually liked it. Follow me on X and on Instagram on social media platforms. Like, that's it. That's a way easier way to say it. At Turn Up the Jets, all one word. Joe Scurto, your host, as always. Look out for Hard Knocks Episode 3 recap tomorrow. I'm excited for the episode tonight. I'm sure there'll be a lot to cover, and I won't be surprised if I'm definitely Dalvin Cook is most definitely going to be in the episode. So that will be great. The New York Jets are only 3 weeks away, baby, till week 1 against the Bills. I am pumped for Saturday. It's like that game feel for maybe 2 drives. I'm probably still going to watch the rest because screw the Giants. And yeah, we'll keep you updated with Jets news as always. See ya.
Jets, I hear them say it now.
Jets white green, Jets green and white.